Welcome to the Dynamics Podcast's automated release notes reading for Wave 2 2022. In this episode, Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management, Inventory, and Logistics. Disclaimer: this document has changes made by the Dynamics Podcast to better fit this format, and does not represent in full the release document. In doing so, some dates might have been changed. Please read the full release notes on dynamics.com for more details, images, and the full story. Thank you. Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management provides the end-to-end capabilities that manufacturers, distributors, and retailers require to meet their supply chain needs. Functionality ranges from product information management, planning, inventory, sales, and procurement to complex manufacturing, warehouse, and transportation management. Increasing resiliency continues to be a priority for organizations as they emerge from the current crisis and reset strategies to anticipate and minimize disruptions. The investments in this release will help organizations balance cost and investments in creating a resilient and agile supply chain to ensure business continuity. New features and improvements introduced during 2022 Release Wave 1 will help businesses to enhance operational resilience. The enhanced warehouse workload for cloud and edge scale units adds support for more warehouse processes, including those for packing stations, manufacturing operations, and material handling systems, thereby helping businesses scale mission-critical operations. Implement agile production planning. A significantly expanded manufacturing industry footprint enables businesses to use planning optimization for production planning and take advantage of the shortened planning cycles to increase manufacturing agility. Optimize inventory and service levels. Native Demand-Driven Material Requirements Planning, DDMRP, support in planning optimization helps businesses reduce inventory levels while improving customer service. Increase fulfillment capability. New inventory allocation and available to promise, ATP, capabilities in the inventory visibility add-in helps businesses increase order fulfillment rates by pre-allocating available inventory for key channels and accounts, and by providing visibility into future stock levels. Simplify multinational operations. Global inventory accounting helps businesses comply with local and global accounting standards. It provides the ability to account inventory in multiple representations by applying the appropriate valuation method and accounting currency per instance. In this release of Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management, we have added several new inventory and logistics features that can help organizations gain visibility, resiliency, and efficiency in their supply chain. New global inventory accounting capabilities in this release wave include support for the accounting conservatism principle, recalculation of inventory after source documents are changed, and new reporting with Power BI. Businesses can also get started quickly by using the new step-by-step setup wizard. The Unified Pricing Service now enables businesses to apply pricing and discount rule conditions and set scalable price attributes. Business can benefit from complex pricing rules and integrate with third-party systems to retrieve calculated prices. The Inventory Visibility Service empowers businesses with near real-time visibility into their inventories. This release now enables businesses to validate fulfillment dates with an ADP check, allocate stock in advance for the most profitable sales channels, and ensure accurate calculations of warehouse-enabled items. Warehouse execution workloads now provide expanded out-of-the-box capabilities for running scale units as part of a distributed hybrid topology. In this release wave, warehouse execution workloads now provide expanded support for inbound transfer orders, sorting for packing stations and inventory, integration with warehouse material handling automation, and additional warehouse features for manufacturing processes. Paperless inbound receiving enables businesses to receive inventory using the Warehouse Management mobile app. The app now supports advanced queries so workers can quickly find the right suppliers, purchase orders, and purchase lines to register against when receiving goods. New feature: Unified Pricing Service. Public preview, September 2022. Many modern companies are building strategic supply chain resilience by forging strong long-term relationships with their key customers. One of the primary methods to accomplish this is to develop and manage better pricing and promotion strategies. For those companies, pricing structure complexity and price calculation performance are two of the main challenges. The Unified Pricing Service now provides tools for companies using attribute-based pricing strategies. Price managers can identify the price differentiating attributes that apply for products, customers, or orders and use those price attributes to build scalable pricing and trade promotion rules in a simplified manner. By leveraging the Unified Pricing Engine, sales managers can now view the calculated pricing and discount details in real time. Third-party systems can also retrieve real-time pricing by calling pricing service APIs. The Unified Pricing Service is a centrally located pricing engine that supports both B2B and B2C scenarios. It makes calculations using complex pricing rules based on selected attributes. You can group pricing critical attributes for customers and orders in the header price attribute group, and group pricing critical attributes for products in the line price attribute group. By creating flexible combinations of header and line price attribute groups, you can create pricing models that consider the conditions of customers, product categories, and attributes. Final prices are calculated using detailed pricing models that you define. Calculations made by the pricing service start from a fallback base price, which is calculated based on the terms defined in the vendor price list. The service also lets you define margin components price adjustments, which apply percentage or value calculations based on the base price or trade agreement price. The base price, trade agreement price, and margin components price adjustments are all components of your final sales order price. The pricing service can calculate and determine applicable discounts based on concurrency modes using best price, compound rules, or price attribute group priority. You can also set up mix and match discounts that support bonus buy and complex assortment by promotion scenarios. The service lets you inspect pricing details at the order level. You can view the pricing details in the price component code and calculation sequence to confirm that the pricing calculation has been done correctly. The pricing service comes with an easy-to-use RESTful API, which enables the front-end omnichannel order management system to retrieve the calculated price by calling the service. New feature: Paperless Inbound Purchase Order Receiving. Public Preview, February 2022. General Availability, April 2022. To streamline the receiving process, workers can now easily find the right purchase order to register against using the warehouse management mobile app alone. Previously, workers using the app needed to scan or manually enter a purchase order number to get started, making paper printouts necessary. Now, the inbound purchase order receiving process is fully paperless. The app supports advanced queries so workers can quickly find the right suppliers, purchase orders, and purchase lines to register against when receiving goods, without requiring a printout. The warehouse management mobile app now provides a flow called purchase order list receiving. It supports the same basic functionality as the older purchase order line receiving flow, but now also allows workers to query and select from purchase order lists. That means it's no longer necessary to look up or scan purchase orders from a printout when receiving items. Workers could already use the app to query the open work list, but now they can also query the purchase order list and apply filters for all available purchase order fields. It's even possible to filter query results based on supplier ID or name, and to select the name or ID from a list if they aren't available for entry. The result list shows all items with item name and quantity. On selecting a line, the worker can complete receiving the product listed on that line. New feature, available to promise for the Inventory Visibility add-in. Public Preview, March 2022. General Availability, April 2022. Available to promise, ATP, functionality for the Inventory Visibility add-in can greatly increase your order fulfillment capability. It provides visibility into future stock levels and can query the next available date for orders. This reduces the risks of losing sales opportunities and overstocking on inventory, which can have cost impact. Most importantly, it provides insights into foreseen potential stock disruptions and the opportunity to act against it. Retailers and manufacturers can check inventory for a specified day or ask for the next available dates for products, which is especially useful to support online customer queries and bulk orders. ADP functionality lets you select a recalculation date or period when querying inventory on hand. It also lets you check availability when reserving or allocating products. Each time you select a recalculation date and submit a query, the system performs an instance check and recalculates the latest inventory changes. The latest inventory information for the selected date or period, including transaction statuses, physical measures, and calculated measures, will be returned as the result of the query. The system will also support up to 7 days of rolling calculations and updates of inventory data. New feature: Inventory Allocation for the Inventory Visibility add-in. Public preview, March 2022. General availability, April 2022. Businesses constantly experience fluctuating inventory levels, especially when running a sales promotion or experiencing supply shortages. Inventory allocation lets you pre-allocate available inventory to make sure you can fulfill orders for key channels or accounts. It helps you meet service level agreements, SLAs, and fulfill commitments to important customers. With global visibility over your inventory allocations, you can align your multi-channel inventory control strategy across legal entities. Inventory allocation allows you to set aside dedicated inventory to make sure you can fulfill your most profitable channels or customers. Without inventory allocation, inventory is most typically fulfilled using a simple first-come, first-served principle. Inventory visibility gives you more control by allowing you to build virtual inventory pools that are created based on allocation rules and allocation objects. Allocation objects are dimensions you can use to subgroup available inventory within a physical inventory location. You can use virtual inventory pools for pre-allocating, ring-fencing, a portion of inventory for your most profitable channels or customers. Front-end systems can submit queries to inventory visibility and can make soft reservations that respect the allocation object's dimensions. Inventory visibility then finds the applicable allocation rule and responds with the available allocated inventory. With the inventory allocation feature, you can set up inventory allocation receiver objects, which can be based on channels, locations, customer groups, or customized dimension. You can also create a hierarchical structure of allocation receivers. Restrict the actual consumption to allocated quantities. You can opt in for a hard check where, if the allocated quantities are all consumed, new demand request posted by the same allocation receiver object will be rejected. Set up a fallback shared inventory pool. Inventory in the common pool is allocated for all channels and customers based on first-come, first-served principle. If a dedicated virtual pool is out of stock, you can use the common pool to fulfill an order. New feature: Inventory visibility support for advanced warehouse management. Public preview, March 2022. General availability, April 2022. Businesses using advanced warehouse management, WHS, are now able to leverage the inventory visibility service to make near real-time inventory queries of all of warehouse items. With this enhancement, the inventory visibility service calculates WHS-enabled items correctly, regardless of which hierarchical level the items are stored in. You can query, reserve, and allocate WHS-enabled items just as non-WHS items. The Inventory Visibility add-in now fully supports WHS-enabled items and can correctly reserve items at the warehouse, location, and license plate level. In the previous release, on-hand inventory of WHS-enabled items wasn't always calculated correctly after being reserved by Inventory Visibility. For example, if you had an item stored at location A under Warehouse 1, and then you reserved 1 unit at that location, Inventory Visibility would erroneously deduct 2 units from the total quantity because it didn't recognize the full warehouse hierarchy. With this enhancement, inventory of reserved WHS-enabled items will be calculated just as accurately as for non-WHS items. New feature: Global Inventory Accounting add-in for Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management. Available in public preview today. General availability, April 2022. International organizations are under increasing pressure from authorities to comply with local and global accounting standards. The valuation of inventory plays a significant role in securing compliance. Global inventory accounting provides the ability to account inventory in multiple representations by applying the appropriate valuation method, standard cost, average, or specific identification, and the selected accounting currency per instance. Global inventory accounting enables organizations to report inventory statements and subledger accounting values, also known as the inventory balance and the cost of goods sold, in what is often referred to as dual valuation or dual currency. Organizations, especially those with international operations, often prefer to account for inventory by standard cost as part of their management accounting setup. However, local governments, tax authorities, and the International Financial Reporting Standards Foundation, IFRS, typically don't recognize standard cost as an accounting principle and often require average or specific identification. In addition, organizations often want to account inventory using a local currency and the functional currency. Collectively, these requirements must be addressed in a comprehensive solution that supports the ability to perform inventory accounting in multiple costing ledgers, where each ledger can be configured with a specific set of accounting policies. With this new functionality, organizations can define as many costing ledgers as required. Inventory accounting in dual currencies and in dual valuations are both supported. Inventory accounting is performed in individual ledgers. Several costing ledgers can be created for each legal entity in an organization as needed, thereby ensuring that multiple inventory representations can be obtained. All documents, such as purchase orders, sales orders, transfer orders, and so on, posted in a legal entity will be accounted in all the costing ledgers associated with that legal entity. A costing ledger is defined by calendar, currency, exchange rate table, and convention. A convention is a collection of inventory accounting policies that can be associated to one or more ledgers. This provides the ability to share a common convention in the organization. The Global Inventory Accounting add-in supports multiple inventory accounting policies. For each policy, a single rule can be selected, and it applies to all products. Supported cost object policy options, product and site and warehouse supported input measurement basis policy options are normal historical and standard supported cost flow assumption policy options are average, specific identification, like batch, and cost element policy supported recording interval, perpetual. This solution provides a detailed audit trail, which ensures that you can track inventory accounting events and measurements all the way back to the original document posted in supply chain management. The solution leverages Power BI to provide insights and analytics. The shared asset library of Microsoft Dynamics Lifecycle Services provides a specially designed Power BI template that you can download and embed into supply chain management. New feature, landed cost integration with third-party freight forwarders. Public preview, April 2022. General availability, June 2022. Third-party logistics providers, 3PLs, can now submit voyage information, container status, apportionment methods for cost types, vendor invoice costs, and other information directly to the landed cost module. This saves time and improves accuracy by ensuring that this information doesn't have to be keyed in manually at companies using landed cost to manage their inbound processes. This feature provides an integration template that enables the landed cost module to integrate with third-party logistics providers, 3PLs. It adds 12 new data entities that cover the following scenarios. 1. Create voyage and containers. This is made possible by the following entities: ITM table entity, ITM containers entity, ITM folio table entity, and ITM line entity. 2. Set the default apportionment method for each cost type code. This is made possible by the following entities: ITM cost trans voyage entity, ITM cost trans shipping container entity, ITM cost trans folio entity, ITM cost trans purchase order entity, ITM cost trans item entity, and ITM cost trans transfer line entity. 3. Track status updates. This is made possible by the following entity: ITM Container Activity Entity 4. Create Voyage cost line records for the actual invoiced amount and link to the vendor invoice, Voyage cost transaction, and Voyage invoicing. This is made possible by the following entity: ITM Ledger Journal Cost Lines Entity New Feature, Enhanced Warehouse Execution Workloads on Scale Units. Public Preview, May 2022. General Availability, July 2022. With warehouse execution workloads running on a scale unit, companies can increase the resilience of their mission-critical warehouse processes. Warehouse execution workloads now provide expanded out-of-the-box capabilities for scale units running as part of a distributed hybrid topology. This set of additional features adds support for a wide range of new scenarios, thereby enabling more of our customers to operate using a resilient, scalable, hybrid environment. Enhanced warehouse execution workloads on scale units add support the following new capabilities, which further improve the ability of these workloads to fulfill organizations' growing requirements. 1. Selected inbound warehouse management operations. 2. Outbound warehouse management operations for packing stations and sorting. 3. Integration with material handling automation systems. 4. Warehouse management processes for manufacturing operations. This concludes the reading of the release notes for Dynamics 365 2020 Wave 2. Keep up to date on Dynamics.com. For more information, go to www.dynepodcast.com and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.